32 years. Let the number sit in your head for a second. 32 years is long enough for fashions to cycle back, for building to disappear, for whole lives to be born and finished. And yet, in Waterford, there is one woman who never got the chance to grow older, never got the chance to be remembered properly, because her case is still stuck in limbo. Missing, not murdered, not closed, just unresolved. This is the case of Imelda Keenan, and right now her family is asking a question that honestly feels impossible to ignore anymore. If everything points in one direction, why is this still not being treated as a murder inquiry? Let's rewind. Waterford, the early 1990, Imelda Keenan was 39 years old. She was a mother. She lived in the Lisdogan area of the city. This wasn't someone drifting through life unnoticed. She had family, she had roots, she had people who expected to see her again. And then, one day in April, she vanished. No dramatic goodbye, no suitcase packed for a fresh start, no bank withdrawals suggesting she planned to leave. She was last seen leaving her home, and after that, silence. The kind of silence that doesn't feel peaceful, the kind that sits heavy and wrong. At first, as with many disappearances, there was hope. Maybe she left voluntarily. Maybe she needed space. Maybe she would show up tomorrow or next week or next month. But days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into years. And Imelda never came back. The guards opened the missing person investigation. Searches were carried out. Her movements were looked at. Statements were taken from people who know her. But here is the thing that keeps coming up again and again, even decades later. There was never any evidence that Imelda planned to disappear. No pattern of behavior that suggests she wanted to walk away from her life. No confirmed sighting after that date. Nothing. And this is where the unease starts creeping in. Because when an adult vanishes without explanation, with no financial trail, no communication, no confirmed activity, and never resurface for more than 3 decades, the question becomes unavoidable. At what point does missing stop making sense? According to her family, that point passed a very long time ago. Over the years, the guards continued to review the case. It was never forgotten, but it was never officially reclassified either. It remained a missing person file, even as the likelihood of Imelda being alive quietly slipped further away with every passing year. And now, more than 30 years later, her family has had enough of waiting for the label of change on its own. They are publicly urging the guards to reclassify Imelda Keenan's disappearance as a murder inquiry, not because they want drama, not because they want headlines, but because, in their words, the evidence and the circumstances points that way. And when you look at the facts, it is hard to argue with them. Imelda did not collect her social welfare payment after she vanished. She did not access her bank accounts. She did not contact her children. She did not start a new life under the radar. People who knew her say this behavior made no sense. It was completely out of character. There was also no confirmed evidence of her leaving the country. No records, no trail, just a woman who stepped out of her home and effectively disappeared from existence. From an investigative point of view, classifying a case as a murder can matter more than people realize. It can unlock different resources. It can shift how evidence is treated. It can change how interviews are conducted. And most importantly, it formally acknowledges what the facts may already be saying. This was not a choice. The family believes that keeping the case as a missing person investigation risks letting crucial questions fade into the background. Questions about who last saw Imelda, about who may have had the motive to harm her, about wherever opportunities were missed in the early days when memories were fresh and evidence was closer to the surface. The guards, for their part, have stated in the past that the case remained open and under review. They have not declared Imelda deceased. They have not officially confirmed foul play. And from a legal standpoint, that caution is understandable. Reclassifying a case is a serious step, but emotionally and realistically, the family feels that the current status no longer reflects reality. Think about it. If Imelda were alive, she would now be in her 70s. There has been no contact, no trace, no sign for 32 years. That silence itself has become the loudest piece of evidence in the room. This renewed call come at a time where Ireland has been re-examining several historical cases. Advances in forensic science, renewed public attention, and fresh investigative reviews has led to breakthrough in cases once thought impossible to solve. Families who waited decades are finally getting answers. Names are being spoken again. File reopened. And that's why this moment matters. Because sometimes the difference between a case staying frozen in time and moving forward is a simple but powerful shift in how we treated missing or murder. Imelda Keenan's story is not just about what happened to her, it's about what happens when time keeps moving, but justice stands still. It's about a family that never got closure, children who grow up without answers, a woman whose disappearance became a footnote instead of a full investigation into what really happened. And the most uncomfortable part of all, someone somewhere likely knows exactly what happened that day in Waterford. Someone carried that knowledge through decades of ordinary life, while Imelda remained a question mark. Her family is not asking for miracle, they are asking for honesty, for the case to be treated as what they believe it has been for a long time. A woman who did not simply vanish, but was taken from her life. Until that question is fully faced, this case will never rest, and neither will the people who loved her. If you want fast updates on Irish true crime, subscribe. We cover everything before it hits mainstream headline. Thank you.